Hello, everyone. My name is Philip Kelvin. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tranch. Tranch is a modern way to get paid faster, upfront, by offering your customers flexible payment experiences. We work with law firms, software companies, services firms, enabling their customers to pay flexibly for invoices up to $500,000 over up to 12 months. So that's enough about Tranch, but what we're going to talk about today is the power of consumer experiences for B2B. So before I set up Tranch, I was a CFO of a consumer fintech based out of the UK in the digital mortgage space. So why didn't I set up a consumer company after that? Well, there's a number of problems with consumer companies in the fintech space. You've got super high acquisition costs. You've got really high regulatory milestones that you need to get to, and it takes a lot of capital as well. It's tough. But there are some things that we can learn from it. And so when I set out to set up a B2B business with my co-founder, we wanted to take a key lesson away when we were setting up this B2B company. And that key lesson was that businesses are run by consumers. So if you take that mantra and whatever you do in how you build your product, in how you design your website, and how you approach your sales, then actually you will get a better understanding of your customers and you will have a higher success rate, both by building your brand and both attracting the customers that you need to scale. So today I'm going to talk about three things. One, how you can take some lessons away from consumer businesses around how you can improve conversion, and we'll talk a bit about brand there as well. The second one is around reducing friction, and the third one is increasing loyalty. So let's jump right in, and hopefully this clicker is going to work. Cool, so what I thought I'd put up here, and sorry that my slides are all looking a bit funny, but was a really great example of how consumers thought about branding. So this is a leading fintech company in the UK. It's also in the US and in a number of other places. It's called Monzo. I don't know if has anyone heard of Monzo here? Got some hands up? Great. Monzo went viral without spending any money because it had a coral card, this kind of beautiful pinky orange card here. Everyone wanted to have a pink card, and it was memorable. And that was their thing. It was just a color. A memorable color made the brand what it was. And then when we compare that with what a website template for a B2B business is that so many businesses use, and I said to myself, I do not want to have a blue and white B2B fintech business with some generic people who have never worked for that business at all, ever in their life, looking like they're doing business, whatever that means, and kind of smiling, maybe writing on a notepad and pretending to type. And you can look at it here, get a demo at the top, contact us, etc. There is nothing memorable about this hypothetical fintech brand here. But a lot of companies say, look, we're just going to have the blue and white thing, and then we're going to be really successful, and then we'll create a cool brand later on. Whereas actually the right thing to do here for the majority of companies is to create that brand on day one and realize that it will iterate. But you don't need to start with boring. People think that B2B should be boring because it's business and it's not consumers. And that forgets the rule we spoke about before, that businesses are run by consumers. So branding is super important, but also how you go about it as well. And being open about breaking down those barriers and making things fun, because apparently business can't be fun. And obviously I'm going to use one of our examples as well here. We are a B2B company that does payments. We have some lending in it as well. On paper, that sounds boring. There's some people nodding. Stop nodding. It's not that boring. But what we do is we can make it fun without feeling like that we're eroding trust. So as you can see here, we use chopsticks. Our brand name is Tranch. Don't ask how we came up with it. It was a very, very, very long brainstorm session. And we came up with Tranch. We thought about the ideas of breaking things into pieces, how we break payments into pieces. And someone was literally eating sushi at that time, and we thought it'd be a really good way to talk about the brand. Now, I don't really like the chopsticks that much anymore, but it's an example of how you can have fun with something and not take away the seriousness or the trust, especially in financial services. The second point that I wanted to go on to was the importance of user experience. This is an example here. You probably know the company. This is Robinhood. It's a listed company in the investment. It's an investment exchange. based out of New York and across the whole of the US. It is very clear, to me at least, when I look at this page, and I was looking around for this speech, looking at kind of brands that I liked, to know that I need to click that button to start. Now, maybe the button could be bigger, but it says get started, and my eye goes down to the bottom. I understand what they say. Investing doesn't have to be that hard, and they can click on that button. Getting that value to a business customer early is super important. Now, an enterprise sale may take 6 or 12 months, but that doesn't mean that you can't give them value at an earlier point that they can share with their colleagues, that they can quickly distill, that they can see a video, a demo, whatever it might be, without trying to make it difficult for them to get to that first point of value. How many times when you go onto a website to buy a software, do you see this? Please book a call. Please read these 20 facts about our business, about how we're going to increase the ROI. Please fill out this form, and then sit there and wait. You might get an automated email. You might wait 3 days for someone to reach out to you that knows not that much about your company. But there is so much more. Even if that right-hand side company is an enterprise software company, there is so much more that that company could provide to their end business that can make them feel like they're getting started onto a journey and thinking about that pre-qualification journey. So I think, again, it comes back to if you were a consumer and you wanted to purchase something, if you wanted to buy new software or service, and you came across that form, you're not going to appreciate it. So let's move on to the third one. And this one for me is really key, transparency. In the consumer world, there are a lot of regulations and a lot of things in place that means that when you buy something, whether it's a financial product or a medical product or wherever it might be, that they need to provide disclaimers, they need to provide information, and ultimately they kind of need to tell the truth, otherwise a regulator is going to come down for them. But in the business world, you can kind of get away with what you want. And what that means is that businesses don't give that information away. They try and say, look, we want to hide the information, we want to keep it to ourselves, and then when we qualify them, when we think that they're a good fit, we'll tell them our pricing, because our pricing is a massive, massive secret that no one could ever find out by asking someone on a WhatsApp group. And what we do by doing that is actually we shield things from them. I'm going to give you an example here. Up here, and I won't name the company because I'm probably being a bit mean, but on that left-hand side is a company, a revenue-based financing company. And that revenue-based financing company essentially say, hey, we will give you money. You're approved with a bit of a kind of information kind of logo next to it that probably says based on 20 million factors that we'll let you know about after you've actually been approved. But you're approved based on 3 sliders that you've done here. And you're approved for $500,000. And you're not even told how much it's going to cost. To me, when I look at it, I'm like, great, free money. Until someone actually contacts you and says, hey, by the way, revenue-based financing can be on an APR basis over 100%. Revenue-based financing can be over 100% for SaaS businesses, which is crazy. Now, if I'm a credit card company, you'll see, even if the average consumer doesn't quite understand how it all works, you'll see that it will be 30% APR, 40% APR. It's declared. Up here, it's $500,000. So when we built Tranch, we were really, really clear that you would have a pricing page. You don't just have on the top there, you can see, what do we do? Solutions, customers, partners, no pricing. Where's the pricing table? So for us, when we set up Tranch and for our direct business, we make it pretty clear. If you have $21,200, there is a fee. That fee has an APR, it has a rate, and it's transparent. Now, we can do more on this, and for sure we are. But the starting point is that being open with your customers creates trust, and hiding pricing, whether it's a SaaS platform monthly fee, whether it's the ball range of way, wherever you're at, pricing is not something that you should keep secret, because it's something that builds trust from day one before you get into a 12-week SaaS negotiation. So I'm going to finish up here and just remind us what we kind of covered here. So the power of branding, the benefits of having a really strong user experience that enables people to get into your product, and finally being transparent on pricing are all things we can take away because we're all consumers here. So for any of you that run a B2B business, remember that your end client may be the SVP of whatever. but they're also a human, they're also a consumer, and they also have expectations, and it's your job to meet them. And hopefully, taking away from this, you'll bring some of that consumer branding, you'll break some of the boundaries of traditional design, and you'll offer your clients a fantastic experience. Thank you very much. You can come find us at our booth by the center stage.